Hey everybody, what is going on? Stiniacs here. We are gathered here today to do a podcast. This will hopefully be one of many down the road that covers gaming on several levels, ranging from filthy casuals. It's a pro elitist. All right. Anybody triggered yet? Was it get glit? Get
Good job.
Yeah, exactly. Get Glitched is going to be a gaming podcast that we have pretty much, what was it, just covering news and topics in the gaming and the streaming world. What was it? Today with me, I got the game. Oh my God, I'm fucking up everything. Today, I got, what was it, the demo playing, puzzle stuck, just chatting, Johnny Boombats. How you doing today?
Doing a lot better than you are apparently for a for an elitist gamer. You seem to not be able to read too well though, so at least you know how to play games pretty well. We got that off the bat, so that's always a good thing to start off with. But I'm
Oh,
doing good though. I'm glad to be here, and I'm really excited for the podcast in general. Like I'm excited to see, I'm excited to see how this is going to play out and like where it's going to go and everything else too. Because this is something that you've been very passionate about, and something that you've been very excited about doing and things for a while. So this is going to be really good. What about you, sir? How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Overly excited, overly nervous. I don't know why. Like, we do this on a regular, but all of a sudden, when I got like notes in front of me, it just makes it more official. So we're gonna see how this all goes, and to be honest and whatnot. What was it? We're gonna do some. What was it? I guess they would call it housekeeping, right? Um, we got a couple of rules as far as like the podcast streams will. Was it go on? What was it? We're not gonna be able to interact with chat as we're doing the podcast because this is the podcast. We're just gonna get the show going and whatnot. Gonna be usually like, what was it, an hour or under an hour depending on how we go about it. Um, was we're going to be taking questions at some point towards the end, and that's when we'll open up the chat. So we're going to leave it on emote only. That's one of the ideas that we're going to go with and see how we go about that. And I don't know, just something we're working with. We're just trying to do whatever we can and whatnot. The segments is pretty much going to be what was it, the intros, obviously any breaking news that comes up in topic. Obviously the main topic of the show, which will take a decent chunk out of it. We'll open it up. Open up the floor to questions of our audience. We'll have a little surprise, little feature thing for the community, which I'll explain how that works down the road when we get there. And then we'll, just pretty much shoot the shit for a little bit, and we're gonna cover a little segment for Johnny, which is a suggested indie title because we want to show that love to indie communities and whatnot. And then after that, we'll have the exit. So it's pretty much that's the structure. We're gonna say it today because today's like the pilot episode, trying to figure it all out and whatnot as we go. And eventually, once we get used to it, we do what we got to do. Right now, the only breaking news, and it's a rumor part. It's not much of a breaking news that we got. Is rumor mill that points to a really big Sony acquisition. So I'm not gonna read through this, but this article is from Push Square by Sammy Barker, and it's pretty much covering a lot of the stuff that's going back and forth with Jeff Grubb and Greg Miller. Everybody has like some sort of inside information, and it was supposed to drop today, but with April Fools being like the caveat of today, it pretty much stopped everything from happening at this point in time. So we're expecting something to happen like down into the weekend, or maybe next week. Johnny, what do you think that PlayStation's hiding right now?
So I actually have a question before that too. Is like, do you think that it's April Fools is what stopped it, or do you think that because of the fact that E3 was announced being canceled, that they kind of like letting that simmer and die down before they actually do announce this?
All right, so I'm gonna answer your question. When you bring up E3, that's all like a different like spectrum of stuff like that, and we already know PlayStation doesn't care about E3 because I think they pulled out like more than 3 times now. Was it
Valid point.
was it for a while? So I don't think it would have to do with that. I will go with the April Fool's thing because it was like the worst day to like announce anything. Because there's information that's out there that was announced that's actually like true stuff, but of course it got watered down with like all the April Fool's jokes and whatnot. There was legit people today that got partnered, and it was the worst day to get partnered because no one's gonna believe them at this point till they put up the check mark and stuff like that. But
That's true. That's true. That's very true.
but yeah, like to me, it was just a interesting day for news, and like we all had our fun and whatnot. I think I have a couple that I might show towards the end and whatnot that I did, but I think we had our fun with it. What about you, Johnny? Did you have fun with some of the announcements and whatnot?
I just had fun trolling you most of the time because I really didn't do. I didn't do any announcements for April Fools. I was like, I just kind. I'm not gonna lie. I got kind of tired of seeing along my Twitter the entire Twitter feed of just going, "I got partner, I got partner, I got partner." I was like, dude, okay, like we get it. Like none of you guys got partner. Like I know you guys, and you guys are only averaging like maybe 5 to 10, 15, 20, 25. You're not averaging those 75 to 80 people. So even just putting that, I just got partner thing up is kind of like you're not fooling anyone that actually knows you in your community. And it's nothing against anybody in the community, but it's like we know you didn't get partner. Like
Yeah.
it's not like it's not a hidden thing. It's not like, it's now it's just like, all right, you're part of the meta. Congratulations. Um, but no, with the PlayStation though, with the PlayStation speculation, I really don't know because when it comes to Sony, and that's where you and I differ a lot too, is when it comes to Sony, follow and I don't really follow or buy into a lot of like the Sony rumors or the Sony leaks and everything else too, except for like whenever they release the monthly games ahead of time.
Yeah.
I don't really, I don't really stay up on the behind the scenes stuff too much. So I was looking through it originally, and I thought, the whole entire PSVR 2, which is a huge thing that everybody's waiting for. They're waiting for details about it because Apple's been dropping an idea about the VR. Numerous companies are starting to come out with that idea of what's going on with VR, and the VR community itself is very, amped about what are they gonna offer? How are they gonna offer it? What are the price points gonna be? What are we looking at? Like, how are they gonna offer that PSVR 2 and exactly, what are we getting out of it? Because is it gonna be budget friendly? And that's where out of anything at all, the only thing that I would have been more interested in was learning about the PSVR because of the fact that I want to see and I want to see budget friendly. I want to see where it falls into the community as opposed to is it where Meta, the Meta Quest, which I have two of them. I have the original and I have the Go, and then I have the Meta Quest 2. And it's budget friendly because of the fact that it's a standalone. It's a standalone thing. It's not where I don't have to have a PS5. I don't have to have a PC for it. Where the Rift, you need a PC. The the PlayStation VR, you need to have a PlayStation, which we all know as well too. PlayStation 5 is not exactly the easiest thing to come by. Um, so that's where I'm kind of like, what are they going to do with that? Because if you announce a PSVR, that's great, but yet still people are still having trouble getting a PS5. So are you really shooting yourself in the foot with that? If you do announce a PSVR at this moment in time until you make PlayStation more accessible, or how are you, what standpoints do you have on that? So that's where my mind is always going to whenever they talk about leaks or they talk about anything that's going to be a big announcement. But I did see people were talking about the idea of the Elden Rings game, like the other Souls games. The company you were saying before, I forgot the name of it.
From Soft.
Um, FromSoft, right, being acquired. And for me, that's not a huge thing, but I do know people within the community, like, it's a very huge. People are excited. People want to know, like, are we going to get FromSoft? Is that going to be the big acquisition? Because we see already in the community that Xbox is buying, game companies. What's PlayStation's, reply back to that? What's PlayStation's response back to that? Are they going to get a big company, or how are they going to go about doing this? But PlayStation VR was my hope for if I am going to have any kind of leak going on or any kind of announcement. But what about you? Where do you stand on that out of what we've seen in this article?
So as far as like the leaks are concerned, it was what was it from what I was running around with, it was PSVR was one of the leak events that was supposed to come out. Was it supposedly was it according to this article, it says the first that was mentioned was the PS Plus news, and that's what we're gonna go into after this. What was it? Pretty much the upgrade with the subscriptions and where they're gonna go with that. Second was what you was inclined for was a PSVR event that was supposed to come in and cover everything about the PSVR and probably show it off a bit and whatnot, and hopefully shed light on certain aspects, like is it going to be backwards compatible with PSVR, the one titles and whatnot. The third rumor is the one that was it like we were just talking that you just brought up, was the From Software. So apparently the third rumor is supposed to be a tasting one. It says an acquisition, and it's allegedly really big. Speaking as part of Kinda Funny Games Daily, both Miller and GameBeat was a Jeff Scrub. Wow. Poor guy. Jeff Grubb. I hope he never listens to this.
We don't want those scrubs.
But yeah, so like what was it? They basically brought up it because like, you know, what was it throughout like some of the podcasts this week, it was basically that back and forth of like what was it, what does Jeff Miller know? Like I mean not Jeff, what was it, Greg Miller know about what's going on between what was it, all these rumors that are flying around because it was like supposed to be a heated week for PlayStation. So far all we got was the PlayStation Plus subscription stuff. But right now, like everybody's wondering what studio, because if it's going to be a really big studio, it has to have some impact. There are probably 3 studios, and in order, what was it from like most likely to like less? I would probably have to say what was it most likely would be FromSoft, and that's your creators of Dark Souls. What was it? All your Souls games, your Born. What was it? Your Elden Ring, your Sekiro. What was it? And then for second was Take Two. I think it's Take Two Studios, and that's the people behind Rockstar. That was another one that was like brought up into the rumor mill because that's a hefty, excuse me, that's a hefty piece of change right there. Because that, what was it? It's operating on a what's it called, like a live service kind of model almost, because it's pretty much a game that keeps going and it keeps bringing in revenue. And that's one of the directions that PlayStation wants to head in into the future, but they want to get that live service model. That's why they acquired like Destiny, so that they could get that what was it, that training and thought process or whatever, so they could, you know, make other games. Then they have like 10 games that are gonna like come down the line, whatever, that's gonna have that same live service model. So I'm thinking it might be along that line. Was it, that's like I want to say like the second less likely. And then like obviously the one I'm just gonna throw my hat up in the air for if it ever happens is Square Enix. Like everybody wants PlayStation to get Square Enix because it was just it's just like the perfect marriage of gaming and how it goes. If PlayStation didn't get Square Enix, I just want Nintendo to have it because JRPGs are amazing on that Switch. They are perfect. But
Yeah, I know.
good.
I know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I know,
That's
like you, I
fine.
know you love your JRPGs and all that too, and I know that Square Enix being that, I think that, like you said too, if anybody should get Square Enix, I definitely think it's PlayStation. From a Final Fantasy point of view, just alone on Final Fantasy, not even going into other, you're not even going into other games that Square makes, just on that alone. So
Yeah. So now we're gonna go into the topic of the show. The topic is basically based on what happened over the week. So I got the PlayStation blog. I'm gonna read some pieces into it. What is it? Here we go. So all new PlayStation Plus launches in June with 700 plus games and more value than ever. What was it? PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now come together. Players can choose from 3 flexible options. Since launching PlayStation Plus in 2010, SIE has been, was it, at the forefront of innovation with game subscription services. We were thrilled to be the first console membership service that included a refreshed library of games through PlayStation Plus and also the first console game streaming service with PlayStation Now. I gotta look into that because that just sounds wild. I felt like they came in second with all that. But today we are pleased to share with you official news about the changes that are coming to our subscription services. This June, we're bringing together PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now, an all-new PlayStation Plus subscription service that provides more choice to the customers across 3 memberships. Here's was it globally. Our focus is providing high-quality, curated content with a diverse portfolio of games. Below is an overview of the 3-tier membership. All right, so just stick with me while I go through these. You got the PlayStation Plus Essentials. That's your bottom of the line basic. Benefits is pretty much going to have wait, hold on, PlayStation Plus members as today. All right, so you're getting all the stuff that you already have as a PlayStation Plus. You get the 2 monthly downloadable games, exclusive discounts, was it cloud storage for saved games, online multiplayer access. There's going to be no changes to the existing PlayStation Plus members in this tier. So like if you have regular PlayStation Plus, that's where you'll stay until you upgrade into one of the other tiers down here. What was it? PlayStation Plus Extra is going to provide all the benefits from up top, but also adding a catalog of 400 plus games that are PS4, PS5, including blockbuster hits from their actual PlayStation Studios catalog, and then third-party partners. Basically, like what's going on Game Pass for the most part. Games in the extra tier are downloadable for play. So these are your PlayStation 4, your PlayStation 5, and these are the ones that was it off the bat you're gonna get downloads. I don't even think you could stream them. I'm not sure. I would have to find out was it go into that and whatnot. But the next set one is PlayStation Plus Premium, and this is where things get a little crazy. What was it? And this is gonna be the one that's like $18 a month too. A little pricey there. Provides all the benefits from the top two tiers. What was it? You get now another 340 on top of the 400. So we're looking over like 700 games. The only issue is the PS3 games available in the via cloud streaming. So it's just streaming. Can't download the PS3 ones. They still haven't figured it out. And you'll have a catalog of classic games from PS2, PS1, and then PSP. And I think like the other one was like, oh yeah, the game trials that are going to be offered and whatnot. So Johnny, where are you at with all this?
Oh, where do I even begin with this one? So it's a catch 22 in a lot of ways with this. I could see the benefit of it, but like I didn't even think about what you had said about not being able to stream the games. I didn't even know that was a thing. So that's something that we definitely need to look into. However, though, as far as what they offer right now, because how much is PlayStation right now monthly for regular PlayStation Online? That's
If I
what is it?
remember correctly, I want to say because I pay the 60 a year.
Right, so do I. That's why I was so
Yeah,
okay. So we'll go with 60
so
a year then.
I
So it's
think
the
it's gonna
9.99 a
it's
month.
gonna be the 9.99.
Okay, so essentially you're still getting so it's basically the same thing too right now. Is you're getting the PlayStation Plus Essentials, you're getting the 2 monthly downloaded games, the exclusive discounts. You're getting what you're already getting to begin with. So
Yep.
that's basically just rolling over to exactly what you get. Now, oh yeah, right. Price for PlayStation Plus Essential remains the same as the current price for PlayStation Plus. Okay. So now PlayStation Plus Extra though provides all the benefits plus the catalog of 400 most enjoyable PS4, PS5 games. So now if you're giving us that, and I noticed that they had mentioned that it was going to be what was the game that they said? At launch they're gonna that was it. At launch they're gonna include Death Stranding, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Mortal Kombat 11, Returnal. You're offering, in my opinion, you're offering games off the rip that are not exactly like brand new games. They're not, a lot of people either already have them, they played them, you can get them. If you're already a PlayStation Plus member, you already probably have the games to begin with if you are a fan of those things. So I don't really see it as being like a huge perk to be like, oh, by the way, we're giving you these 5 games, 4 games. Those aren't really like a perk that I would be like, okay, that's what I want for paying extra money above and beyond the essentials. Um, Now with the extra though too, the extra tier, the down PlayStation includes third party partners, but where is it that I was looking for? The main thing I was looking for. PlayStation Plus Premium. That's where I wanted to touch on. PlayStation Plus Premium was where I feel that they have a good idea of where they should go with it and a good idea of what they want to do as trying to be a competitor for Xbox. If you want to even say that they're a competitor, because I don't think they are. Um, but you're still lacking the biggest the biggest issue that they could possibly lack, in my opinion. The PS3 games available via cloud streaming. Like, I'm sorry, there is no reason why they should still be only available on cloud streaming, in my opinion. Then you're also not talking about they said that they're going to offer cloud streaming access for PlayStation, PS2, PSP, PS4 games offered in the extra and premium tiers in markets where PlayStation is available. So now you're still talking about cloud gaming. Cloud gaming that benefits people like if you're in the city, like we're in the city, it benefits me. It benefits you. It could benefit other people that are doing this. It's not going to benefit though somebody in the middle of the country that has no internet like that or doesn't have good Wi-Fi, who can't download or have a steady internet connection. So right there alone, you lost me on that. Like if you would have given me, okay, cool, I have a huge catalog similar to Xbox Game Pass, where I have a huge catalog of people, games, PS1, PS2, PS4, PSP, etc. Now, if you even gave me a limit to tell me like, oh, listen, you can only do 50 games a month, I'll even let you limit it. Like, you can even tell me like you have a 50 limit game download per month. That's fine because I still have the opportunity to get those PS1 games that I want, those PSP games that I want, those PS4, PS3, PS2 games that I want. But you're not giving me that. You're giving me cloud service where, as opposed to Xbox, I could download the game, put it on my console. I could take my console with me somewhere if I want to go on vacation and play those games on vacation.
Yep.
All I need to do is have Wi-Fi off my phone even for 5 seconds to verify. Hey, by the way, you still have Xbox Game Pass. Cool, you verified. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
This though, you're not giving me that option. You're giving me, and you're not even giving me backwards compatibility where I could be like, okay, let me play my PS1 games that I already own, like you do, because I know you have a ton of games, like old
Yeah.
classic games. You're not even giving me the backwards capability on the games for me to play games that I already own. And then you're telling me I have to play it online over the internet as well too. On top of paying $18 a month for not possible stable connection. Because we know people in the community that played I know somebody that played God of War on a PS3 online. Occasionally got glitchy, occasionally got lag if it had a lag internet spike. But then if you pause your game for a little bit, if you have family responsibilities, you have children, you need to get up and walk away from your PlayStation for a little bit. You can usually leave it paused if you own the game. You pause it doing cloud gaming, they kick you off because there's a queue of people that want to play it.
I didn't even know
So
that.
you're in my opinion, you're just trying to like you're trying to get into the competition, but you're going about it with a five-year past mentality. You're not going into it with the current mentality you should be having for this kind of situation. And that's where I stand on that. But I really want to know what you have to think about this one because
So community wise, everybody knows that what was it? I'm supposed to be the Sony pony, right? It's more of a persona than most because I enjoy gamings on all platform. What was it? I love gaming. I grew up with it. What was it? Now we're trying to make it into like a profession of sorts, and we're doing all types of stuff with gaming and whatnot. I'm very happy about it. PlayStation has been one of my favorites, and just looking at this, it's just like letdown after letdown after letdown. What was it? Somebody had, I think it was Janet Garcia said that PlayStation's like the bougie console. Like how everybody was it does certain things and whatnot. It doesn't do everything you need it to do, but it does certain things, and for some reason there's like a flashy like vibe to it that everybody attracts to. Just like an iPhone, basically, right? And then Xbox is like the Android for the most part. Like, you could do so much with it. You can, do all the crazy stuff, especially like on a gaming level. Like it's better to own the Android versus an iPhone when it comes into like type of games that you want to throw on there. As far as the subscription service, right? We already know, all right, PlayStation Plus Essential, we already have that. We already know what that consists of. Excuse me. We already got ripped off one time on it because we used to actually get 5 games. It was the 2 for the PlayStation 4, 2 for the PlayStation 3, and then there was the 1 that was, I think, Vita and PSP. And they decided, you know what? You're still going to pay the same thing, but now you're just not going to get nothing. You're just going to get the 2. So we already got screwed over on that earlier. Was it in it was like a couple of years ago. Now we go into the PlayStation Plus Extra, right? They say, oh, you're going to give you 400 games of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games. And then like one of the things I've heard was like, who's the one that says that what's enjoyable? Like, what are we really going to get inside that library? Because like you already know, like if it's a PlayStation Plus PlayStation Studio game, we already know it's going to be good to go. But you only gave us like a few examples of what's going to go into that library, and I'm very sketched about the whole thing because it's the third party stuff that I want to know what's going to be in there. Because I know like Microsoft throws their wallet everywhere, and they get all the good ones in here. They get like the day ones, like they got Back 4 Blood when that came out. I think was it PlayStation? I think for PS Now they did Shadow Warriors 3, and I don't even know if that was a good game. Like y'all let me know if that was a good game because I don't know. But that was like the only day and date game that came out for PlayStation Now. And it was like they were trying to give it like some life of some sort. Now moving on to what was it, the premium part. This is where, like I said before, like it gets a little crazy. The PS3 part is the letdown. Right off the bat, I should have said this in the beginning. Right off the bat, the PlayStation Plus subscription service, right? This whole thing that's going on. This is not a Game Pass competitor at all. This is either Sony's trying to catch up to what's going on, catch up with the times and whatnot. And this is pretty much like, it's just a half-ass like thing that they threw together. And one of the things that they wanted to catch up was, combining subscription. So to me, what this looks like is they took PlayStation Plus, they took PlayStation Now, put it together, and then called it something else. Because if they're not using the servers that they were to get from like Microsoft, then maybe the streaming is going to be better when they go onto the Microsoft side of things, because they did have a deal with Microsoft for the the cloud gaming stuff. So I don't know if that's being used at the moment for PlayStation Now, or is this going to be something that they're going to launch, what was it, in June, and then all of a sudden PS3 gaming's service is going to be a little bit better than it was before, because it was like hell of latency.
Right.
What was it when you go into like now the catalogs where it's the PS2, the PSP, and then the PS1 games? Those are going to be downloadable. That's amazing news that they're going to do the PS1 stuff, because we do have some PS2 games that are downloadable and we can play on the PS4 and the PS5 now. As far as the PS1s, I don't think we have anything to my knowledge, and I doubt we have anything PSP. So these things, they're gonna actually, give us, what was it, when we get that option to download that, and then I think we could stream them and whatnot. This is where someone mentioned this, right? And this is where everything starts to like lighten up in a bad way. Like, what was it? We're able to see behind the curtain type deal. So we're gonna do a little math here, right? Not like hardcore math. We're just like, like we're not gonna go crazy. Just give you like a ballpark number here, right? So remember,
PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus has 700 games, right? 700. Okay, that's like our cap, right? So right off the bat, take away the 400. We got left what, 3 and change? No, 3 was a 7. 4, you're gonna have 3,
7.
right?
Right.
So it says adds up to 340 additional games, including everything that's going on, right? So we already know that they have a hefty PS3 library. And somebody said this, what was it, earlier? So this is a tweet that I picked up, was it today? It says this is from an early 2021, so it may have been changed since, probably not by much, but with the PS3 numbers. If the highest tier of PlayStation Plus gets you 340 backwards compatible titles like PSX, PS2, PSP, and PS3, they are dwindling down the total size of the PS Now library. PlayStation Now games list currently 375 PS3 games, 388 PS4 games. This is PlayStation Now. So off the bat, they have 375 PS3 games in PlayStation Now. So what was it? You could think like, oh, maybe like a few of them like dropped off because of what was it, licensing deals and stuff like that have come out. What was it? Maybe they can't use some of the Bethesda games or something like that. You know what I mean? What was it? They can't use some of the, what was it, the possible Activision games that are down the road or whatever. So maybe that's what cut it down a bit, because those are going to be stuff that's going to land on Xbox. What was it? It says these are the numbers or whatever. Now, at the time of publishing this article, making a grand total of 763 PlayStation Now games. That's and the idea when they had that flipped it was the idea to show you that there's always been more games on PlayStation Now, regardless of how you do it. There was always more on PlayStation Now versus Game Pass. The thing was that obviously Game Pass was always the front and center of Microsoft, where PlayStation Now was just like this kind of, should I fuck around with this, or should I don't know. Let's mess with the trial, right? So the math there, it says 375, right? So you can only imagine how many PS2, PS1, and PSP games we might get. Like, I'm thinking ballpark, maybe 30, and that's all together.
I didn't even think about it like that, doing the math on that, because oh wow, like,
so the question, like, what was it? The question now is it going to be worth it? Like, the first month, everybody's going to dive right into it. Everybody that, wants to be a part of this, right? We're
You
all
don't
gonna
have to
dive
though.
in, huh?
You don't have to, because
No, you're right.
let me ask you. Let me ask you this though, real quick. And I'm gonna cut you to that point real quick. But let me ask you this though. So you're talking about the first month, right? Everyone's gonna jump on PlayStation Premium, right? Now, most of the people that are gonna try the PlayStation Premium are most likely people that are already on PlayStation Now, correct?
Oh, yeah, they're gonna have the access right off the bat.
So PlayStation Now, they already said they're rolling it over without additional cost.
Yep.
So now my question is, how many people are going to start canceling, and how much money is PlayStation going to lose after that first month rollout when people turn around and go, I had 700 games and now I got 700 games, but these are all my PlayStation Now catalog was cut down in half, and then even further and even further and even further, and you're costing me more, you're charging me more money because like you get me with retro. Like, if you show me that PS1, PS2 catalog and that shit's got 300 games on PS1, PS2, you'll get me on PlayStation Premium for that $17.99 a month. But especially, I didn't even think about the math. Now that you added that math into it, you lost me even further on it. Like, you just completely like shot yourself in the foot on that one, like completely.
Yeah, you're right. What was it? To me, it was just, what was it? Once I saw like that tweet, because it was covered in one of the podcasts I was listening to today, I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute, like if this, because we already know, like if you go into, was it the library? I wish I had the PlayStation hooked up so I could show you. But what was it? If you go into the library for like PS2 games, I think, what was it? It's not, it's not that many to begin with. So let's see if I can look up the PlayStation Store and pull this up. But pretty much, let me see if I can do it this way. Let's see, PlayStation Store, PlayStation 2. I even spelled PlayStation. Let's see what happens.
But I mean, so let me see while you're looking at it. Let me see this though too, because I'm big on Xbox, and you know that I'm more when it comes to online, when it comes to the gaming and stuff. I'm more of Xbox Game Pass than I am PlayStation now. Um, but even PlayStation, even Xbox Game Pass, they do offer you a lot of Xbox, Xbox original games or Xbox 360 games, but they don't have nearly the collection that nearly the collection that Xbox One games are on the Game Pass. And I wonder though, is that due to the idea that they feel that most people are either already have it and they have, like, for you, for instance, like if you're so big into PS1, PS2, you already own a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. You're probably a Sony collector. You probably already have the games. You probably have your favorites, and that's what you're going to do. Are they looking at that way and they're just trying to cater to the younger market, the next market? Because Lord knows Xbox makes it on bank only because of the fact of the day one releases. The fact that you get Halo, their flagship game on day one release, and that's what really holds Game Pass above. Like when people try to argue facts out of this too, that's the first thing you hear is day one release of AAA titles. But
So what I got here was that I don't know how accurate this could be. What was it? Because of some of the stuff, what was it? I think it says PlayStation 2 games for PlayStation 4. Oh, I see. Because like right here, they say, what was it? One of them was removed. All the Grand Theft Autos got removed when the whole thing got redone for the, what was it? What was that shit called? The Liberty. Was it? I forgot the name of it. The trilogy pack. What
wait,
was
which one was
it?
that? I'm so sorry.
The trilogy that had Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and then Vice City. They had a trilogy pack that came out, so they
Oh yes.
removed the previous games off of everything, so they could redo that. But according to this, it's looking like, what was it? We got, I don't know. From like at a glance, I'm not gonna count them, but we're looking at least like about 40, like 30 to 40 here, and that's a low number, and that's PS2. PS1 was it? We can't really gauge that number at the moment because we don't know, we don't have anything to justify that on what's going on right now. I mean, you could look it up on the PS3 store or whatever, see what that is and whatnot, but that's a whole different story and a whole different ballpark. But at this point in time, it's not looking good because, like I said, it's not going to be a Game Pass with a competitor at all. There's no way. Because first off, on Xbox, like you mentioned earlier, we have to, what was it? We're paying all this, right? And we don't even have access to backwards compatibility with the stuff that we have. That's a huge miss on PlayStation's part. like you said, I have a bunch of PS2 titles. I have a bunch of PS1 titles that I want to just pop in it and play the game. That's it. I don't want to have to download the stuff or stream the stuff. I just want to be able to play what I already own with no issue. But that was never going to happen. That was never a part of the plan. It was never a part of the plan. Like, this is the bougie console. Everything has to be brand new, spanking, flashy, the whole nine. And it's a letdown. It's a letdown on game preservation. It's a letdown, what was it, to the communities and stuff like that. It's a letdown to like your strongest loyal types that has been there since day one, because they want to play their nostalgia games and stuff like that. People want to play, what they were born into. There's people that want to play their PlayStation 1. They want to play their PlayStation 2. They want to play their PlayStation 3. And then it's even more conflicting because, like, what was it? Okay, we could play the PlayStation 1 titles and the PlayStation 2. We could download them and play them on stream, right? For us as streamers and content creators, it's even worse with the PlayStation 3 situation. Because now you got to make sure that your net is good for that and streaming and doing all the other shit that you got to do. And then you got to make sure that, you're able to even, like, get everything going for the PlayStation 5 when you do it through their PlayStation, Premium. But then there's people like, oh, why don't you just stream the console itself if you own it? Like, I own PS3 and I own a bunch of PS3 games. The issue with that is there's a block. What was it? I forget what the term is, but it's a video block.
The HDCP or whatever it is.
It was something like that. And you have to do like some wild ass shit, get like this, like it was like some piece, whatever, to basically bypass it. And the first time I did it with my PS3, it burnt out the HDMI. Gone, done. I don't know if it was that, it was time for that HDMI to die, or maybe it was something that happened within the part.
Just coincidental, a little too coincidental, but
a little too coincidental. So I don't know, if I want to try it on my next PS3, or do I want to try to see if I could do something with the component cables and then see if I can stream like that. But that's pretty much going to be like one of the downsides or whatever, because I'm not going to do the streaming stuff unless it's been perfected in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to end up doing it through the hardware and in hope that I can actually pull it off, because it just doesn't look good for the future of fucking PlayStation when it comes to that. Right. What was it? So they missed the shot on that. What was it? Everything on Xbox, from like even the day one or whatever stuff, they have their achievements, and that was another thing that was talked about. Are these stuff that we're going to be able to download? What was it? The content that we're going to be able to download, is it going to be updated in any way, shape, or form, like the FPS boost that Xbox does? Probably not. Is it going to have the the 4K resolutions like Xbox does to their old games? Probably not. Is it going to have any trophy support like Xbox does their old games with achievements? Probably not. So we're about to pay more up front, but in the back end, like if you end up paying for like the yearly, you're gonna be paying less than Game Pass Ultimate supposedly. But most people, depending on how finances are, you're gonna end up paying for the monthly. Like it just works better for most people here and there. Are you doing the math right now?
I'm trying to look at I'm looking up the prices right now.
Like you just like clicked in your head. So yeah, that's pretty much like. Was that again?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So pretty much that was one of the I guess like the buying points and whatnot, was that the yearly was going to be a little bit cheaper than the Game Pass yearly. One of the things I do advise people, if they're going to try to like buy into this, is if they're going to be moving people from PlayStation Now into it, you can buy a PlayStation Now like $60 card, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken, and then basically go into PlayStation Now for a year, or you could boost it up 2-3 years, I think it is. And I think it's still going to be less than the actual service itself for 1 year. You pull it off that way. I forget. I gotta like figure out the math for that one. But yeah, this is not looking good at all for PlayStation, in my opinion. They dropped the ball in many areas, and I'm hoping at some point, because like another thing is like how does it compare to? Let me bring this up for the image, right? How's it going to compare to somebody like Nintendo, who doesn't do much?
I have a question while we're looking that up too. Game Pass Ultimate, right?
Yes.
Um, I cannot find a price for
They're
the
yearly?
year.
I don't think you
Yeah, like
can get a yearly.
it's looking like 3 months is all you can get.
So add up the numbers to the 3 months because I remember something along the lines of like they don't I don't think they have a yearly.
So on Amazon right now, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is $40 for 3 months.
Ooh.
So that's 3, 6, 9, 12. That's four. That's 4 times 4. That's 4, 8, 12. It's $160 compared to 120. So it's $40 more.
Oh yeah, they do.
So
They don't
Xbox
have it
Game Pass
according to
Ultimate.
this. Yeah,
So Game Pass Ultimate is $40 more, but yes, it's $40 more. However, though, Game Pass Ultimate gives you
a whole lot
EA,
more. Yep.
it gives you PC, it gives you cross play, cross compatibility, it gives you drop and go as much as you want to. It gives you the cloud. It gives you so much that you can get compared to just a bunch of games in a half-ass library.
So yeah, so the value is there then.
Yeah, 100%. The value on Game Pass in general and Ultimate is definitely there compared to what you're getting for, especially the content creator and the streamer. That's my biggest thing. Is like as a streamer and a content creator, Game Pass, and it depends on the games you play though too. Because I'm very big into indie games and stuff, but Xbox, like they offer you so many games that you can play and just rip through for the hell of it if you want to try it, as opposed to PlayStation and paying the extra money for it. But
Yeah. So right here, I got the what was it the little post that IGN put up. Right, it's basically comparing things on what was it on their tiers that they have. So you got your essential, extra, premium for PlayStation, and Xbox has Game Pass for console, Game Pass for PC, and then Game Pass for Ultimate. The ones that they didn't cover was it Gold Game for Gold or whatever Gold membership. I don't know. They have one for
oh,
the
Xbox
internet.
Gold.
Yeah, there you go. Xbox Gold. They have one for for that's just basically their internet plan. And then you got the Switch, who they're the oddballs out. They're on their own level. Was it to some people it's up, to some people it's down. To me, it's just there and it's great. Like we leave the Switch alone. That one kid you just don't want to bother in the schoolyard. Just leave him alone. Let him do his thing. You know, he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it. We're gonna go all graduate together and whatnot. It's gonna be all right.
I
Uh
always said when I compare it, I'm always like, yeah, Xbox and PlayStation are the two kids that you hang out with, and then like Nintendo Switch is the kid with the crayons in the back, just eating it with the eating the crayons in the back corner.
oh, that's
And you just look at.
the
You're like, it's okay, buddy.
disrespect.
It's okay. You can
It's
just
okay. You're
be
you're
there.
one of us. You're one of us.
Yeah, you can just you can sit with us. And you can hang out with us. It's okay, buddy. We still like you.
So they got Switch Online, and then what was it recently that they introduced was the Switch Online expansion pack that gave us was it access to like the Mario Kart stuff. I think it was the 64 and Sega, and
Yes.
then there was something I think Animal Crossing stuff. They had DLC for that, which was like that's awesome. And we go into the prices, right? So we got the 9.99, 14.99, 17.99 for premium up on PlayStation. That's their highest price point. They are the most expensive, which is messed up for a lot less. What was it starting on the monthly? Game Pass, you have the 9.99, and that's your console and PC and whatnot. And then you got the Ultimate that's gonna package in the gold and Game Pass. And they don't have a yearly, which is interesting.
You also get the EA too.
Oh yeah, so they also package EA. Who's it? Ubisoft is not there, but there's been rumors that Ubisoft is going to be a part of that. But they have EA, and I swear there's something else in there. But there's a lot going on in Game Pass. Like you got your cloud gaming on top of that, and you can access it through a tablet, your phone, was it computers and stuff like that, and you could play. Eventually, you'll be able to play on like TVs that support it and shit. uh was it when you move into Nintendo's 3.99 for your monthly, and that's all just the online only. What was it, you'll get the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo store that comes with it, and
Mhm.
that's pretty decent. You look
Do you?
confused.
Oh, you do
Yeah,
get that for that. Yeah, you get that
yeah.
for that, right, right.
So like you'll get the little store or whatever with the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. They have decent games in there. It's not bad. When they refresh it, it's a pain in the ass because it's always like some random ass game that we've never heard of. It's some shovelware of some sort.
Yep. Yep.
So I mean, like I enjoy it. I feel like we should like just like what was it, cover those games when they come out just for shits and giggles. But that'll be down the road type shit when you get settled down.
Oh god, I can only it would be a struggle just to try to play through some of those a lot of times, but it'd be worth it.
So the pricing point for yearly was it? You see the 19 and then the 49.99. I think that's including the both. So they got the $50 over on was it online for the Switch. Xbox doesn't have yearly, and then the yearly premium would be 119. They got the 99 and then the 60 that they already had for moving forward. Family plan. This is the most awesome thing. So Nintendo wins off the bat with the family plan thing.
Facts.
Was I gotta start donating more to Johnny because he's covering me on family plan.
Oh, you're
So
one of my 8? I didn't know who I always forget who's on my 8, my out of my, like, my 5 or 6 that I have already on here.
yeah, it was you dropped me in, and I was like, oh, that definitely helps out a whole lot. I appreciate it, but I got to drop you some bucks your way at some point. What was it? Game Pass. There's talks about it. I don't know if it was rumor or report. I have to double check that, but they are going into talks about a family plan. Like it's something that's probably going to end up happening, and Game Pass is pretty much more fitting to do the family plan thing because we already know that PlayStation is far behind with everything else. So expect family plan from PlayStation maybe 10 years from now. Additional
Basically.
perks is monthly downloadable games, but that's pretty much was a Game Pass in Xbox. Game Pass gives you the X Cloud. They give you the free games, and when I say free games on Game Pass, or well, their membership, the gold, it's actual free game. That's one of the things that some people don't even know about. That was because if you stay tied to a service, you're just going to always redeem whatever, and it doesn't bother you when you cancel it out. But if let's say the games that you get from PlayStation and you cancel out, you can't play those games anymore. You have to resub into it, and then you're going to be able to play those games. Xbox has, I think, on average, like 3 games that comes out. 2 of them are for your current Xbox One and Series X and up. What was it? Then they have the 360 game. The 360 game is the one that's for free. So you get that, and if you cancel your Xbox, you still own the 360 game. You can still play it, no issues. There's no tie-ins. I don't even think it says anything like gold or whatever on it, like a little badge. It's just your game that you're downloading. That's your little
Yeah.
freebie. So Xbox is really good about that. The online additional perks for the Switch was access to DLC for the Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, and then there was the Nintendo 64 and the Sega that they didn't put up there. No, they actually did. They did it on the access to older games. That's where they covered it. So PlayStation's gonna cover PS2, PS2, 1, and PSP. PS3 is gonna be the streaming stuff, and then you got your PS4 and then possible PS5 titles. Xbox covers everything. It covers everything, and chances are that it's also covered on backwards compatible. So if you own these games and you don't want to pay for the service, you could still use it. You can still pop the game in, and you can still use it on your Xbox Series X. Like I have an Xbox Series X, and I have I think it's like a 360 game that I could just pop in and play anytime I want. Like
So
I have
crazy.
to. That's why. Like, and then people like, why do you have an Xbox library? Why don't you just get Game Pass? Sometimes I don't want to pay for Game Pass, but I can still use like any Xbox game that are covered in the backwards compatibility folder, and I'm good to go. No issue.
They keep adding on that shit too. Like
Yeah, they
they're
keep adding on it. They
constantly
don't
adding on
take
to the
away from it
backwards
either.
compatibility.
Yep. When you go into the Nintendo, they have your Nintendo, your Super Nintendo. They have what was it? Your Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis, and then they got the expansion packs that are what was it coming out for everything. Game trials. This is something I wasn't even thinking about, but was it PlayStation's gonna do that? We don't know on what degree they will like pull that off. Select games for this is something that they could probably work on for Xbox. But the thing is, it's almost pointless because everything just drops on Xbox. Like you're gonna get a
Right.
lot of games, and then like if you're worried about the exclusive games, they come day and date, no issue, no fucking issue. Halo Infinite comes out, it's coming out, and you can just play it. You don't have to worry about buying it, and then next thing you know, I wasted money, I didn't like it, and all that other jazz. Nintendo apparently has game trials, but I don't think it's covered in the service. That's
Um.
that's an odd one. I think
So
they
as
just
long as
I
you
know they
have
have demos, right?
Nintendo's, as long as you have NSO, right? As long as you have NSO, it's the demos basically. The game trials are the demos.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
That's what they're basically considering I believe that's what they're pretty much considering the trials is like the demos. So like even with I think that that's what they're doing is that they're kind of confusing. Like the way that IGN did that, they kind of worded it the wrong way because even with the
Yeah,
PlayStation thing, is it's not so much a trial, it's more of like a playable demo. Like how we sometimes get like, oh, you can get the early demo and then it'll carry over to your main game if you purchase the game.
yeah.
I think that's what they mean by game trials is more of like a freaking demo. So yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking that for the PlayStation one, it's gonna be like an actual time trial. Because what was it? That's something that they
Oh,
do with EA games. Remember how they would give you like an hour or two or something like that, and then you're locked out. And it
yeah,
does still
yeah.
progress like how you were talking about, where you can like take that and then continue on. And that's what I think they're gonna do over here for PlayStation. Um, Demo wise is for what was it, Nintendo, from what I've seen. They did have actual trials, but I don't know if there's like a first come first serve or you actually get picked into it because they
Well,
had
because
like the Splatoon trial and you needed the membership.
right. Then they had the one for the one that you guys played, you and Bull played, the one with the not Cards and Mana. Oh god, the 8-bit game that everybody was so excited about too. That came out.
I'm wondering what it is.
Oh my god, it was such a massive like you guys were so in love with it too. I can't remember like
Now,
Bull
yeah,
loved it.
now
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah, you gotta was it look that up. I'm gonna keep going though for was it the last two sections here.
yeah.
So we got the exclusive what was it, discounts, and that's across the board. You're gonna get exclusive discount on everybody. That's normal. Cloud saves, this is new to me. What was it? So obviously you get it for the PlayStation Plus. What was it? Definitely I learned the hard way with Nintendo because that's how I moved. I don't know. I don't think it was the Pokemon game. It was something else that I kept moving back
Animal
because I
Crossing.
own two Switches personally. What was it other than like I think like three, and then I got to get another one for my daughter when she's of age. It's like a little here you go, child. You are now a gamer. Um, I didn't know that you didn't need a subscription for Xbox Cloud saves, which is a huge plus because you want to make sure your saves are good to go. Let me see what was the other image we had talk about that bit.
So I think it was Triangle Strategy, by the way.
Oh, but that yeah, that was it. If that was the one that one we couldn't play together.
Right, they had a game trial. They had a trial for it though
Yeah,
available. But I will also state though that Nintendo Switch Online, their cloud save is only something that's pretty much didn't have day one. Remember that. That's only um, a more recent thing. Like Animal Crossing, we lost. Cause remember, I broke my Switch. I
yeah.
got the blue screen on the original Switch, and I lost all my Pokemon stuff. I lost all 400 hours of Animal Crossing.
But you just
All
brought
that.
up the two games that don't support it. That was
And then
Pokemon.
they did. They added to it.
What was it?
They
Because
added
I
it
know
finally.
Pokemon was it had the what was it? Because I remember having to move Pokemon game the save file back and forth through that I forget what they call it, but it wasn't through the cloud save. And then Animal Crossing, I haven't moved it like once, but I remember there was like a whole ordeal about it. And then eventually they gave like the support where you can like, was it back it up into their server? And then you could like, if anything happened or whatever, now you can download it back on another Switch, depending on how that works. I have no idea. I'm afraid to find out the hard way.
It's weird because we did it with the wife when we got the OLED. So like she can't play Animal Crossing on the other one now. She only plays on the OLED. If I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
so here I have, I'm gonna, was it boost this up? It's gonna cover our face for a second. But this is actually a fan made. Like after I've been like digging through Twitter and stuff like that, This is actually fan made, and I'm pretty impressed on like how this looks because it almost looked like some real stuff going on. I was legit impressed, but it gives you an idea of
Also,
what's possible.
completely.
What happened?
So it definitely is fan made. This one.
Yeah, this is fan made. What was it? We
Okay.
found out through just like going through sources and stuff like that. Um, what was it? They show a couple of like things that like was it? It's a possibility that could happen, but we're not entirely sure. It shows you Dissidia over here on was the right side where it's circled. Then you got in the middle left. What was it? You got Metal Gear. There, just enlarged. You got the Metal Gear, and then you have like what was it? Crisis Core, which is a necessity at this point. The way the story's going in Final Fantasy VII. No spoilers. What was it? And Dino Crisis is another one. Like the possibility of what they can pull off with the service, as far as like nostalgia is concerned, it could be epic. It could be amazing. I just hope down the road that they realize that let us get the PS3 games, get them downloaded, because there's a lot of PS3 titles that a lot of us want to go through, like Metal Gear. What was it? The one with Raiden? I think it's Resurgence. I don't know. What was it? You had what was it? Other titles like one of my favorites was the Mercenaries, World of Flames. That was a great game for the PS3. Uh, there's a Resident Evil game that I would love to play on stream, but I can't. I could only play it on the PS3. I think it was like the Umbrella one. I forgot what it was called. I didn't come prepared for this part of things, but stuff that I should be putting in the doc. But that pretty much closes out everything that we had. What was it? So on a scale of like 1 to 10, Johnny, how do you feel about this 10 being the highest?
Mm. If they showed me the catalog of PS1, PS2, and it was decent, and it was like a good catalog, I'd give it a 7. But as it stands right now, I would probably give it a 5 to a 4, only because of the fact that it's not trash. It's not, it's not the worst thing that any game company or any console, has ever done. I mean, Nintendo's online service, that's considered trash. Like their actual network. But for this, I don't consider it to be trash. I just consider it to be run of the mill, but yet below average, kind of. Because if they do it the right way, like it's there, they can expand on it and fix it, and could be good. But it's just a matter of it's the balls in their court. Will they do it? No. It's PlayStation, like you said. They're bougie. They're not going to do it. Like it's just it is what it is. It's the Lexus of the Hummer of the consoles. You're not going to get it. It's just you pay for what you get. But yeah, I'm going to just go with a 5 to a 4, like a soft 4, hard 5.
All right. So what was it? You definitely brought up. What was it? Something what was it that kind of triggered a thought? What was it? One of the main topics was the day and date, right? It was that everybody is wondering about the day and date. What was it? We already just what was it spoke about how basically everything is just gonna fall into it at some point. So let's say, for example, what was it? Horizon Forbidden West. That's gonna drop into the service. Give it like a year or two. They'll drop it in the library. It's not gonna happen day and date. Um, Everybody knows the world runs on money, and even Jim Ryan had said something. I don't have the quote with me, it was at the moment, but it was basically along the lines of, if at some point they feel that they have to, it's a possibility. It's not off, like it's not written in stone. Day and date can possibly happen down the road depending on the direction that the gaming industry takes. So if for some reason down the road they see Xbox is more successful and that profit like starts to like go, you'll probably end up seeing PlayStation again playing catch up, and they'll start dropping it on their service, and everybody's gonna come in. What was it? Because everybody wants those PlayStation games, and if I'm able to access them on a PC, if I'm able to do everything that the Xbox is doing, a lot of people will definitely buy into this. Me, where I'm at right now, though, I'm gonna have to go with a solid 5, because disappointed on the PS3. They had time to fix this. It's been a while now. They've always complained about it because this is not news. This is something that's been an issue since the PlayStation 4 came out. Everybody wanted their PS3 games on the PS4, and they couldn't do it because it was always the cell processing issue. The way they made that console and the games that were involved, it just doesn't work for emulation and whatnot. So they got to figure something out, and hopefully, like, they can figure it out. It just takes some money and time. They can do it. They just don't want to fucking do it. That's the issue. Like, they don't have to technically do it because where they're at, they're good. They don't need to. So yeah, I'm definitely out of 5. I'll be there day 1. Hopefully Johnny, what was it? You'll do at least the first month with me. Maybe I'll give you like the offset cost. Just donate it.
PlayStation. Wait. The first month of what? The
The
PlayStation
premium.
Plus
We're
Premium.
gonna go premium.
I got a full year of PlayStation Online for because I bought the PS5. Like I'm just saying.
You got the PlayStation Now?
No,
Oh,
I just got
I
the
don't know.
PlayStation Plus
That's another
because
question too. Like, what was it? How's it gonna work for us?
do
Like,
I just
I
pay
just
$7.99 for 1 month?
yeah. Is it gonna be like you're just gonna pay like a little like fee? Now I'm curious. So I gotta see how that's gonna work
Yeah,
out.
that's a really good question. I mean, if it's $8 one shot off, I'll do it just for the month. But like fuck, like screw it, I'll just try it. Like
Yeah, because
to see what it's
I
really
already
about, so we can
paid for
talk on it.
I already paid for the
But
online for the year. So if they're able to do that or whatever to like offset the cost and whatnot, then that'd be perfect. But what was it? We'll definitely cover that when was it we get down the road and stuff to see what's actually available, and we'll have like a what was it? It's pretty much gonna be like it's not gonna be a podcast stream, but it will be a stream nonetheless of us looking through the library and then talking about it and how we feel and whatnot, and then probably going through some of the games. So it'll be a games and demo night type deal. We'll see how that works out. But was it a closeout topic? We're both at 5s. We're not all that
yeah,
excited
pretty
for
much.
this. What was it? So now I want to open it up to the audience. Let me see how am I supposed to do this. If you guys have any questions, there you go. I think I took it off. Any questions? It's now's the time to chime in. Chime in with the highlighting the message if you want. Nobody? Anybody out there? Anybody? I'll give it like 60 seconds, see if there's any questions on how they feel about this. But what is it? Let me see. Yeah, I already got that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't see how this is gonna. What was it? I don't see it as a benefit. I feel like they half-assed it. They did what they wanted to do, and now we're just wondering what's gonna happen down the road. So no questions at this point in time. All right, I'm gonna move on. Watch somebody be like, no, no
You know
questions.
what's funny?
Oh, I'm mad you were
I don't
ready with
even
that.
have the channel point redemption. Like I don't even have channel. I can't even click channel points. I don't have
Oh no, because
the
I turned
option.
them off. Oh, I turned it off completely like a dumbass. Never mind. Not that we needed the highlights anyways.
PS5 for $800. But, Slipper, are you offering or are you asking?
Now, if you're talking about a bundle, I remember it was with stuff. Yeah, just go for it, bro. Upgrade. It's time to upgrade. That's it. How long? How many years we've been in? It's time to upgrade. Just do it. Just do it. You got the money there. Just do it. Get it done. You're gonna love the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers on Fortnite. It's gonna be amazing, and the speed of the way it loads, perfect. We're gonna go into asking. We're gonna go into was it our the hidden little feature that I wanted to pop up with. We have a little segment that we're gonna do for streamers, and it's basically a featured streamer of the week. Each podcast is gonna have a streamer, and we're just gonna what was it? We asked them like pretty much questions ahead of the stream, so we could just like get their answers and stuff, and then we're just gonna it's basically like a get to know them type of deal. So our feature streamer, are you gonna do this, Johnny, or was you got it?
No. Go ahead. That was you. I didn't have what you the
Oh no, I
plugin that
meant
was put
just the
together.
shout out part. We're gonna give a shout out to
Oh, I got you. I got you.
who is it? I think it's 1370 if you don't remember.
Yeah, I got you.
Give him a shout out real quick. See if this pops up. There it goes. So that is the Red Riddler. I mean,
No, not the
whoops.
Red Riddler.
Holy crap. There's too many there. How many do we have? We have like 3 or 4?
We only have 2.
No, there's another one. I think there's another
For an
one.
elitist, for an elitist gamer, no wonder why I have to backseat game so much of your stuff, because you can't even do like simple like
Simple stuff,
knowing
right?
who's in your community. Look at you.
No, exactly. It's so sad. So we have the Riddler 1370, right? What was it? We pretty much have what was it? A clip from him for the stream. We already did that part. What was it? He likes to stream. Did I not? Oh, wow. I didn't even put it. I have to pull up the phone. I didn't even put it in the fucking doc. Pilot episode, y'all. Pilot episode. Don't worry, everything's gonna be fine. So, what was it? He says that he likes to be a variety streamer. Favorite game that he likes is God of War. I'm assuming this is the whoa, chill. I'm assuming this is the 2018. I should have clarified with him on that one. If not, maybe it's the original. And what was it? His away from computer, I should have put away from keyboard activity, is to do training with what was it? Weapon training and martial arts training. And he loves playing with his kid. So that is the what was it? The Riddler. I'm mad. I was about to say it again.
You were about to say the Red Riddler again.
It's so bad. I'm such a bad podcaster.
You're a bad pasta. Bro,
I'm a bad pasta. I'm a bad pasta.
You came into a stream earlier today just talking complete nonsense, and now you're over here not even making sense with the words you're saying right now. What's going on?
No, the nonsense was to be April Fool's stuff or whatever, and then just like showing how much of an elitist I've gotten to grow into and stuff. So it's like, oh yeah, Phil contacted me personally so I could do XYZ. And then Corey Barlarg is, the guy from God of War. He contacted me to test the demo, but I don't have time. So just trying to make myself, make it or fake it.
So clearly, chat. It was funny in his mind, but nobody else. You had to be there.
No, it was like not even like you had to be there. You had to be in my head for it to be funny. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It fell apart so quickly. But yeah. So every week we're gonna do our featured streamer. We'll get better at this. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. But what was it, Johnny? Now I have a question for you. What games have you been playing?
I don't play games. I'm just chatter.
So bad. So all I do is just chatting. It'll be Johnny Boombot's radio.
I hate you. Wow, what games have I been playing? Honestly, that's actually a really good one.
The opposite of unpacking.
Yeah, basically, because of the fact that I'm moving right now, like I haven't even really been playing. Oh no, I've been playing games to the community a lot. So I've actually been playing a lot of Minecraft, a lot of because I'm not streaming at the moment because of the fact of the move and all. I've been trying to get back to the community, and try to hang out with everybody. So I've been playing Minecraft. I've been playing Fortnite, Call of Duty. Oh, Sea of Thieves. That game is phenomenal. But
I put 7 for really 7 days to die. Like
that was right. It was supposed to be on 7 days to die tonight too.
Oh yeah, afterwards.
And so that's been a big thing. It's been a lot of the multiplayer, like the multiplayer aspect right now is what I've been really kind of on. The community games kind of thing is what I've really been like on right now at the moment.
Good. What was it for me? I'm just doing Stranger of Paradise with Bull. Yeah, you're supposed to. But then again, I didn't put that in the doc either. Like I said, we're working on this. We're working on this. This is like a couple. We're nervous. We're getting to know each other's audio bodies. We're trying to figure this out.
We got this.
We got this. But I've been playing Stranger of Paradise with Bull. That's the Final Fantasy game that came out recently. Pretty decent. No real complaints other than the story's kind of And then combat's good. Inventory management sucked. And of course I've been playing Maneater. Unlike somebody that hasn't been playing Persona, but that's a different topic altogether.
It's packed away. Sorry.
It's packed away. It was actually a disc. You liar! You
could download it. Disc. I had it on a physical copy.
Yeah, sure.
I'm becoming a collector thanks to you. Thank you.
No, I respect that entirely.
Exactly.
What was it? Was it next segment? It's like segment. Ooh. Our next
Okay.
segment is a Johnny segment, and it's a suggested indie title from Johnny. I'm gonna pull up. What was it? You didn't even tell me in like what was the thing, but I'm gonna pull up a trailer of it, so we'll have it playing in the background. Oh
Oh, the original or the new? The okay, yeah, yeah.
wait, no, we
So
definitely
the
did. Yeah, we already. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
yeah, so the indie game that I wanted to touch on today was called the Stanley Parable. Stanley Parable is probably, to put it bluntly, the biggest mind fuck of a video game that I've ever had. Um, Only because of the fact that you are literally an employee of a company and you're just going through, like, not even going through daily life of the company. You leave your main office like behind a PC and you go walking through it. Everybody's gone. Like, you're by yourself. Like you can see in the video, you're by yourself and you're employee 427, and you just basically just walk around this building and it's got a narrator narrating the story. And at first the narrator seems like it's just kind of like Stanley leaves his office, Stanley goes down the hallway, and then you're supposed to follow what the narrator tells you to do. So it gives you like two doors in front of you, and it goes, Stanley walks through the door on the left. And if you go to the door on the right, it goes, Stanley was not supposed to go to the door on the right. So Stanley is not listening. Stanley goes down the hallway and goes to here. So it's interesting because the narrator gets pissed off at you if you start going against things. He starts changing stuff in the simulation you're in. If you want to call it a simulation, I don't even know what to call it. But the best part about that game to me was the replayability of it, because there were times I was even telling Cineax that I finished the game on stream, and it was a short game because we all know that I play demos. I play short games, as they like to say to me. But the amount of hours that it took me, like only like a couple hours to beat the game. However, the replayability of it though, to get everything, because there's like 15 or 20 endings, and you can change so much about it and change like, and you start to run through things. And the funny part is too is if you do it multiple times, you already know what you want to get to this next ending you want to go to. You rush through it, the narrator will actually stop you and not let you go to the next thing, because like there's one point where you put a code into a door. And if you already remember there is a code and you go up to the thing while he's doing the narration, you go put the code in, and it goes, and Stanley was too impatient to even wait. Well, Stanley, you're gonna have to listen to this music now, and you're gonna have to wait until we decide to finish the song before we go ahead and advance you now. And you said it, you really have to wait like 20 seconds for it to play out before it goes to the next area you have to go to. So it was just so interesting the way that the game plays with itself. It plays with itself. The way the game plays amongst itself. And I know I was supposed to show it to you, Cinex, and I don't think you saw it when I was playing it the first time, or some of the stuff that I was doing it. But there are so many Easter eggs to it. I'm just crazy, crazy, crazy excited because of the fact that they have announced what Cinex has played is the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. The Ultra Deluxe was actually announced in 2018, and they were saying it was going to come out the whole 9 yards. Finally, it's getting a release date, April 27th, and just that alone, the fact that your employee 427 and the developers Crows played off of the fact that your number is 427, your employee 427. Like they play amongst that idea of like, yeah, the answer with the release date has been in front of you the whole entire time, because guess what's being released? It's being released on 427. And they play off of that so well, and now the fact that it's even going to consoles, the fact that you can play it on all the consoles. I think it was the Switch, the Xbox, the PlayStation, PC. Like it's coming across the platforms, all across. I know I'm getting that day one. Like I'm getting it day one, and I will probably be either playing it on stream or playing it off stream. I don't know, but day one, that's a definite cop for me. It's so good, and I mean you do have to. The weird part is, and I do want to mention this though too, is if anybody does decide to go play it, you can actually get it on Steam or you can get it on Epic Games. I got it on Epic Games during one of their free things, whatever. They gave it Epic Game Free Store or whatever. If you get it on Epic Games, you cannot actually unlock all the endings. There are two endings you cannot unlock unless you have it on Steam, and there are a lot of other things you cannot do unless you get it on Steam, because on Steam you actually have to go into the launch directory, and you actually have to put a code in like a / C++, blah, 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 to get it to load up with this one directory for you to be able to do it. So they want you to basically be the coder. They want you to be employee 427 to pull up what's going on in this game or whatever for you to go through it. And it's just it's such an amazing game. It really is, and it's one that I keep going back to, and I keep on wanting to play over and over again. Oh damn, I had another one too, but I'm not going to talk about that. We'll talk about that
We'll
another time.
save that one for next week.
Yeah.
Wow. So what was it? I'm pretty much gonna shed some light. I'm pretty like was I didn't know like because I remember what was the other game that you played with Balti?
That's the one I was actually going to mention just now. Was Superliminal. That's the one I was actually going to
Okay,
mention.
so I
That's the second
confused
one. Yeah.
both of them. I thought that's what this was, but then when you went into this and I saw the video, I was pretty like now I'm like intrigued like all the way. I'll wait till 427 to get this. Hopefully it's within price point. I don't think it's gonna be $59.99. I'm seeing like maybe like 39.99.
I would say, yeah, I would probably say about 39.99 because of the fact that the original I think is $20 on Steam if I'm not mistaken.
All right, and then this. Do we know anything about like? Is this just gonna be more added content, more endings, or more?
So as far as I know, let me see right now because I'm going to pull it back up again too. So I know it's coming to Steam, PS5, PS4, Xbox X, S1, and Switch. The Ultra Deluxe, the expanded reimagining of the critically acclaimed award-winning indie game, comes to Steam. It comes to all of them. So it should be the after over 3 years of development, we finally completed work on the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. And where is it? So they even have a delay video when they were supposed to actually release in 2021. They have a delay video on YouTube that they released about it being
Oh,
delayed.
so they delayed it. What was they probably had the same
Yeah.
idea too? What was it for last year? But COVID definitely screwed up a lot of people's schedules.
So I'm going to read this real quick because
Got it.
this is actually probably the best way to explain the Stanley Parable ever. What is the Stanley Parable? The Stanley Parable is a first-person adventure game. When a simple-minded individual named Stanley discovers that the coworkers in his office have mysteriously vanished, he sets off to find answers. You will play as Stanley, and you will not play as Stanley. You will make a choice, and you will have your choices taken from you. The game will end. The game will never end. Contradiction follows contradiction. The rules of how games should work are broken and then broken again. You are not here to win. The Stanley Parable is a game that plays you.
Okay, yeah,
So
I'm sold.
yeah, I mean, and the Ultra Deluxe is a continuation of the collaboration between David Radin and William Pugh, who were the creators of the original Stanley Parable. Um, so it's okay. In the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, everything you remember has been recreated, yet it's different somehow. We've been here before, haven't we? Is Stanley still the same as he was back then, or is it you who has changed? Can you be more specific? Since the Stanley Parable was a game about surprises, we've tried to implement new content in ways that players won't be expecting. The script for this new content is longer than the script for the entire original game. Holy shit.
So what you're telling me right now is that I have to play through the original. I mean, you're still going to be able to enjoy was it Deluxe? But if possible, to play the original.
It's what it's looking like because it said what's going to happen to my quote go outside progress like from the original. Many achievements from the original Stanley Parable will return in Ultra Deluxe, but progress and unlocks are entirely separated. This means that your career streak of not playing the Stanley Parable remains untouched when you're playing Ultra Deluxe. Because that's actually a part of it too. Like one of the achievements is to not touch the game or something like that, I think too, or whatever. Or like to like load the game up and never bypass a certain part of the game or whatever
Yeah.
for like days and months or something like that, and you get an achievement for it. Like it's weird.
There was a game. Was it? I don't know if this might be it, but I remember there was a game that if you left it alone and logged back into it, was it? You can actually get like an achievement.
Might be this one.
I'm gonna have to look into that. But pretty much that's all we got for now. Was it? Thank you everybody for stopping by and supporting the podcast. We basically hope to bring you more content down moving forward or what on different levels. We're gonna have lots to talk about. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the gaming community. We're also gonna cover stuff from the streaming community too. We'll have topics and whatnot. I think I have this section opened up in the Discord. What was it? Well, let me get this up here. So, what was it? Remember to join the Discord if you want to be a part of these conversations in some way, shape, or fashion at this point. But if you want to add a topic of sorts or whatever that we can cover, we'll probably like make space or whatever for like little mini topics and stuff like that we could talk about to take place of the breaking news if nothing actually happens, and then we'll go into our main topic. So pretty much, what was it? We're gonna be rating out to someone right now. What was it? I think we're just gonna go with was it West today? West is the one that's streaming, right?
Yeah, all three of them are actually, I think.
Wait, 3?
If I'm not mistaken, it's West, Jovi, and Ra.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it? Yeah, so we'll take it out to West because he hates me. But what was it? We're gonna take out the stream to West, so just make sure you stick around for all that. What was it? Make sure you follow Johnny at Johnny Boombots on Twitter. That's Johnny_Boombots on Twitter. We should have socials for the social things and stuff. Suck my ass. Oh wow, Bull. Thank you for joining in. I didn't even see that.
Wait, that's why I laughed before. That's why I was like laughing.
I didn't even catch that because I can't see it on the tablet. Yeah, it doesn't even show. The announcements don't show up on the tablet. That's nice. That's good news. What was it? Also, you could follow Johnny at twitch.tv, Johnny_Boombots. For me, you got, was it at Syniax, SYNIAX on Twitter and on Twitch. So that's pretty much everything. We're gonna start out the raid, and guys, always remember to remain epic.